Hello guys, welcome to my tutorial. In today's class, I'm going to show you how to create NAT gateway. Let me just give you some background on NAT gateway. What is NAT gateway? NAT gateway is a network address translator gateway. This NAT gateway, we use it in private subnetworks to enable access for the instances that we have launched in uh, private subnetwork, private subnetwork to get access to the internet. So if you see in my previous video, I have shown you how to create VPC, how to create subnets, and we have launched instances inside the subnets, and we have tested the communication among the servers. Let me just draw the diagram of VPC. So this is VPC, and inside VPC we have created servers like this, and we have attached internet gateway to get access to the internet. This is VPC. This is web server. The subnets what we have created are public subnets. So this is public subnet. This is DB server public subnet, and we need to attach internet gateway to these subnets. IGEE internet gateway. So what internet gateway will do, it will enable access to the public subnets where the instances we have launched. So anyone can from other side world, they can come into our networks, they can access to our servers, and even we can access the outside traffic. So in this case we don't have any security. That means anyone can come and access our networks, they can see our data. So it's like there is no privacy in our servers. So anyone can from outside, they can come and access our web server or DB server, and they can see our files and systems, everything. So that means we don't have any security. So in that case, what we need to do, for example, DB server is it plays very key role because it deals with the data. Each and every bit of information will be saved in DB server. So that means we should not keep this DB server in public subnetwork. We we have one more subnetwork called private. So we need to keep our DB server in public, in private subnet. Let me just write private subnet. If you add a private subnet, and if you launch your DB server, if you configure your DB server in private subnet, still we have access to the internet gateway. That means anyone can come from outside world, and they can access to our private subnet area. So just to avoid this scenario, we have one gateway called NAT gateway. So what NAT gateway will do, it will act as an intermediary between the private subnetwork and the internet gateway. So let me create NAT gateway. So what this NAT gateway will do, it will connect private subnet and it will connect public subnet. Okay, so this is a structure of public private subnetworks inside VPC using IGW and the NAT gateway. So if DB server wants to access outside the traffic, it has to first send the request to NAT gateway. So what NAT gateway, it will translate all the addresses and it will have its own IP address, that is elastic IP. So it will, when you create NAT gateway, we have to create one elastic IP address, so that that IP address is a static one. It will be assigned to NAT gateway. So all the requests whatever we send it from DB server, it will translate and it will send it to the EIP, that is elastic IP. From there, the public network, through using public network, we will connect to internet gateway. So anytime if DB server wants to interact with the other side world, it has to go in this way only. It has to first reach NAT gateway. From NAT gateway, it has to reach public subnet. From public subnet, it has to go to internet gateway. So in a reverse manner, that means if any other person outside the world, if they want to access our DB server, they cannot access, because we will define the rules over here so that no one can come and access our DB server. For example, if any other person from outside world, if they want to access our DB server, they have to come in this way only. First they have to come to public subnet, then public subnet send request to NAT gateway, and from NAT gateway it will deny the rules and it will not allow to the DB server. So in this way we will have full security on our DB servers. No one can interact with our DB server, no one can see our data. So that is the purpose of using NAT gateway here. First point, DB server want to access, if DB server want to access other outside world traffic, it can access through NAT gateway, public subnet, then IGW. But the reverse is not possible. Like other side people, they cannot come and they cannot access this DB server. So this is a structure of the VPC with public and private subnetworks using NAT gateway, IGW. So let me create this model in AWS and we'll test. Let me open AWS console. Log in with my credentials. Okay, so what we are going to test now, we will create one VPC. Inside VPC, we will create one internet gateway. Step 1, create VPC. Attach internet gateway to it. Create public and private subnets. Then subnet associations and modify route tables. Step 4, create NAT gateway. and attach it to private subnetwork. Then launch instances, test the communication. Okay, let's go to console, create VPC, create new VPC. I will name it as Honda 10.54.0.0.16. Create. Currently I don't have any instances running in my account, so Honda VPC has been created. Now go to internet gateways, create one internet gateway, Honda -IGW, create, attach that Honda internet gateway to Honda VPC. So our VPC has been attached with internet gateway. So let's go to subnets, create two subnets. One is public, select our VPC 10.54.1.0.24. So in public subnet we are going to launch web server. Just name it like web server. Create one more subnet, private subnet. Here we are going to launch DB server. Select our VPC 10.54.2.0.24. So we have created public subnet and private subnet. So from our diagram we can see, for public network, public subnet, we need to attach IGW, and for the private subnet we need to attach NAT gateway. For public subnet, after subnets we need to go to root tables. So by default whenever you create VPC, we will be having one root table. By default it will come when you create any VPC. We'll name it as public root table. So here if you go to subnet association tab, we need to associate the network which has to be under this public subnetwork. So we have created public subnet. Select the public subnet web server and save it. We are just associating the subnet for this subnetwork. Then go to routes. We have to define the all traffic. So since it is a public network, we need to attach internet gateway so that we will be having internet access to it. Now let's create private root table. Okay, private root table. So for the private root table, we need to associate the private subnetwork. select the private subnetwork, save it. In routes, we cannot add internet gateway to this private network, because if you add internet gateway to private subnetwork, there is no use of NAT gateway here. Again, it's like direct access to the other side world. Anyone can come and access to it. So for that purpose, what we are going to do, we need to create one NAT gateway. Create NAT gateway. So always you remember, whenever you create NAT gateway, it has to link with the public subnetwork. So in this case, we need to give always public subnetwork. Then only we will get internet access. If we give private subnetwork, we won't be getting any internet access. So it has to always attach with public subnetwork. Then create one new IP address. Create a NAT gateway. Then go to edit route tables. Go to our private route table. Edit. Add route. If you say here, we have two options. One is internet gateway and the other one is NAT gateway. For this private subnetwork, we need to select NAT gateway, then save it. So now we are done with the networking part. The networking part is the diagram what I have shown you here. We have created one VPC and two networks, public network and private network, and we have attached internet gateway to public network and NAT gateway to private subnetwork. Now go to EC2 instance, launch instance. One more point I forgot to tell you, when you create VPC, you have to enable that option DNS host names. If you don't enable that option, you won't be getting the public DNS name on your EC2 instance. Go to instances, select general purpose, one instance, select our Honda VPC, public subnet, enable, add tag. This is web server. We are launching web server in public subnet. Add rule, all traffic, launch, view instances. Let me launch one more instance for DB server. Select Honda VPC, private subnetwork. Review on launch. So I have launched two servers. One web server is in public subnet. The other one DB server is in private subnet. Let me just log in web server and we'll try to ping any one website. Select the public DNS EC2-user, select the key, open. So I can able to access the server. Present working directory, sudo -I can able to root the user. I can able to SSH the server. Let me just ping www www.google.com. So it is successfully able to ping the server. Let me just stop it. Now go to DB server, select the public DNS, launch one more new session. So now we are trying to access server inside the private subnetwork. So that means we should not get access. So in this case, we will be getting error saying that connection timed out because we don't have access to private. You cannot access. See, connection timed out. You cannot access this DB server. So that means our NAT gateway is working fine. So if you want to access uh, other side outside traffic from DB server, you have to go to public subnetwork. From there you have to access internet. So for that, what we need to do, SSH ec2 hyphen user at the rate. So what is a private private IP address for this? This is a private IP address. So it is asking for the confirmation if you want to continue or not. Yes. Okay, so now we are in web server, that is server 1, which is there in public subnet. If you want to access DB server, we need to provide the key. That's the reason it is saying there is no key, permission denied. So we need to get that key, then we need to log with that key. Let me get the key where open PEM file, copy, create a file here, save it. So I have instant key. Let me SSH again, -i, then file name, ec2 user at the rate private ID, private IP address. So if you see, we are getting permission denied access. That means the key what I have created, it doesn't have executable access. So for that we need to give executable access to our file what we have created. If you see, we have executable access. Let me again SSH on the DB server. Okay, now we are able to we successfully able to connect to the DB server. If you see the IP address, earlier we have IP address like this, 10.54.1.39. That means web server IP address 10.54.1.39. If you see our prompt, now it is showing 10.54.2.21. That means DB server IP address 10.54.2.21. So that means we have successfully logged into DB server. How we have logged into DB server? Initially we tried logging with DB server using EC2 instance, but we failed because we don't have access to it because of NAT gateway. See what we have done then, we have gone to public, we have logged into public public subnet. Inside public subnet we try to access DB server. So we have logged into DB server successfully. Then we'll try to ping website. See, it is able to ping google.com successfully. So that means a NAT gateway is working perfectly. How you can say it is working perfectly? Because initially we tried with logging through DB server, it failed. So we don't have any access to internet, direct internet access. Then we tried using public subnetwork. So inside public subnetwork we have tried, it is working fine. Now let's see whether NAT gateway is working correctly or not. Go to root table. We'll select the public, we'll select the private root network. Then edit. Because of this NAT gateway, we can able to ping the website successfully. Now I will give you, I will put some number here and I will save it. Now if you see, the it is not able to ping the website, it has stopped here. If you see the sequence number, it is 74. It is stopped here, it is not able to ping the website because we the IP address what we have given is wrong in NAT. So if you go and edit this NAT IP address and if you give 0, again it will work. See, initially it started from sequence number 1, then till 74 it started. Because we modified the NAT gateway, it stopped over there. Then again from sequence number 106 it started again. So that means our NAT gateway is working perfectly. Let me just stop it here. So this is how you create NAT gateway in private subnetwork and you secure your database servers. So for this exercise we require one EIP address, that is elastic IP, and one NAT gateway. So this is how you create VPC. Under VPC you create public and private subnetworks and attach internet gateway and NAT gateway. This is the use of NAT gateway. Thanks for watching my video. See you in next video. Bye.